Hello Saints, I'm Ben Johnson.
And I'm Connor Ramlet. Welcome to SFHS Today.
In national news this week, President Donald Trump took office. His inauguration was last Friday, and on Saturday, millions of people across America marched for the rights of women.
One teacher at St. Francis flew to Washington, D.C. to participate in the National March. Some students were able to march locally in St. Paul. Here are Nastia and Jessica on the story.
I went to the Women's March in Washington, D.C. On January 21st. We went because my mom used to work for Planned Parenthood in the 70s and had to deal with being firebombed and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of the reason we went, is to really bring our support to women's rights, LGBT rights, as well as climate change is a big issue for me as well. The experience there was amazing. Like, I don't even know if I can really begin to describe the feeling of being on the ground there. Just the aerial shots show that everybody was just packed in there like sardines, which is what it felt like. You were surrounded by love. You felt so safe. We didn't get to hear a ton of the speakers just from where we were, but the ones that we did hear were very, for the most part, very uplifting. Like, there was anger, but it didn't turn to violence at all. It was all like directed in the right way. And there were 500,000 people there in DC, and I believe it. And there were no arrests, so it was a very peaceful, kind march, and everybody was able to get in and out fairly easily, which really surprised me with minimal delays, so it was great.
I went to the Women's March in St. Paul, and I went just to march for like equality for everyone and women's rights. And the overall experience was really great. Like, everyone was super nice, and there was tons of people there, and the whole just atmosphere of it was really great.
My name is Cassie Calametti, and I marched in the Women's March of Minnesota this past Saturday, January 21st, 2017. The reason I marched was for the diversity of my family. I have a transgender niece, I have biracial nieces, and I have a gay nephew. I believe we all have equal rights, no matter who we are. So this was an opportunity for me to express my concerns, at the same time support everyone around me from various walks of life. And I got an excellent opportunity to meet people from all over. My kids did march with me, but by their choice. And some of their concerns were probably different than mine. We come from two different generations. But I think it gave all of us an opportunity to kind of see how this country developed, and they developed through years in different protests. So this was, like I said, a very peaceful protest, 100,000 people in downtown St. Paul. I think this is not the last of them. There'll be more. But I think just the experience and feeling the energy there, I would highly recommend it to anybody. So, march on.
Thanks for that story. It's interesting to see how people right here at home got involved in this national movement.
On a similar theme, the Competition 1 Act cast performed for language arts and music classes today with its production of Antigone. They have a public performance tonight at 7 p.m. and admission is pay what you can.
The cast asked, what would you be willing to die for? She got more on the story.
All conference was great. It's an opportunity for the students to put the show on its feet in front of an audience for a first time. So they really stepped up their game for all conference. We had a number of awards that came through for us. But that being said, we work as an ensemble, and so really, if one person is missing, you can't do the show. You can't do it the way that we do it. So I was just really proud of our cast and the way they represented our school. They made a lot of friends with other people in other schools. So they were good representatives of St. Francis High School, and they did a really, I think, commanding and a very powerful performance. So we're doing this show, Antigone. It is ancient Greek theater. So frankly, this is a very, very complicated piece to do. A lot of high schools veer away from it because it's classical theater. And as in classical, I mean the very beginning. This was written 400 BC, 450 BC, something like that. So this is a piece that has been, it's the basis of all theater.
Antigone is kind of the rebel of the family. She's the kid who kind of goes against the grain. She's fighting for what she believes in, and even though it's not what everyone else wants her to do, and she ends up, you know, paying the ultimate price of her life with it. And it's she's a cool character. She's kind of, I was about to
She
swear.
definitely gets into trouble a lot, though.
Yeah.
You can tell from her relationship with her sister.
And there's like a lot of tension in the family, and she's kind of just, you know, the kid who kind of got forgot about. So she definitely comes back and makes sure no one forgets about her. Having two people play the same character is fun and difficult at the same time, because you have to be in each other. You have to have the same rhythm as each other when you're speaking the line.
It's nice having that relationship with another person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This being both of our first year in one act, for me at least, it's very different than the musicals I've done or the fall plays, because it's a smaller cast. But I find it's really fun because even though it's a small cast, you're still having a lot of fun with each other.
You get to know each other better because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One act is cool.
In the show, I call the show, and so I'm in charge of making sure both lights and sound are off and go off in the same time or on time, and then I'm in charge of making sure the show's under 35 minutes.
Yep. I do sound during the one act, so I play music during speeches, during really dramatic scenes, and it's just kind of to build the suspension for the scenes. For the lights, it's very difficult because when we go to each school, their light boards are different, and as for their sound boards are very different. And for backstage, you really have to get used to where everything is and where everyone needs to be at one time. And also, for our one acts, we have 10-minute setup time, otherwise we're disqualified. So we need to set up our set pieces within 10 minutes.
Usually, the tragic hero has a kind of hubris, which is that they're a little bit too cocky. They have a heightened sense of self. And so in this, you have a king, Creon, who believes his orders should not be defied. You also have Antigone, who is a young woman who believes so highly in her cause that she's willing to die for it. So I think if people come, I want to know, who do you think the tragic hero is? Who loses everything by the end? Who has the flaw of hubris? And who do we feel kind of the most sorry for by the end of the play?
The team competes in subsections at North Branch on Saturday at 12:40, and the performance is open to the public. If they place in the top 3, they head to Hermantown for sections next week. With a story about a very different kind of royalty, Katie Bjork and Rianne Doherty got the information about the upcoming snow days and its royal.
How does it feel to be nominated?
Pretty good.
Yeah, it makes me feel very excited and very happy.
It feels good, I guess. I don't know.
I'm pretty excited. I think it'll be fun to dress up and walk in front of the school and everybody.
I'm super excited to be nominated for Snow Days this year.
Coronation is Monday, January 30th, and it is a Flex 60, I believe, that day, and so it'll be right between first and second hour, starting at 8:46. So coronation will begin, and then it will flow into the Pet Fest.
Who will you be walking with?
I'm walking with Megan Weber.
And I'll be walking with Sydney Stokes.
I am walking with Sophia Scott.
Chad DeSoto.
I'm walking with Matthew Vu.
Get out there and vote. You'll see flyers around the school that have QR codes. You also got an email to your school email that has the links to vote as well. So get out and vote, and we'll see you at coronation.
Snow Days is Monday, January 30th through Friday. February 3rd, there are theme days. Monday is Class Color Day. Tuesday is favorite band t-shirts, Wednesday sweater weather Wednesday, and Thursday is sports jersey, and Friday is fancy Friday.
In addition, the regular dance on Friday has been replaced with a new event. Alyssa and Raina got more
So
information.
hey everybody, during Snow Week we're trying something a little different. Rather than having a dance at the end of the week, we're going to have something different. It's called Battle of the Saints, which is basically all the different kinds of homecoming activities in terms of sports combined. So kind of an open gym format.
Not everybody wants to just dance. So we've opened up the gyms and we'll be able to play volleyball, dodgeball, ping pong. So there'll be more options for people to do stuff.
You can get waivers in the main office. You do need a waiver signed by your parent, even if you're 18. And it's only $2. We're trying to make it really easy, really cheap for everybody to go. So you want to go and have fun, and you can play multiple different events, not just one thing. And support your friends, because this should be like the showdown to end all showdowns.
Okay, so for all those seniors and juniors that were involved in Power Buff, if you want to do a rematch, you're definitely able to do it that night.
Friday, February 3rd from 6:30 to 8:30, so that way you can show up at 6 and get all organized, and then go out with your friends for some food or whatever.
Not too late to vote for the Senior King and Queen. Students received an email with the link Polls Close Sunday.
Another reminder, grad ads are still open for yearbook. For more information, see yearbook advisor Joel Olson or check jostens.com under St. Francis High School.
Just for fun, some students here at SFHS have been pondering a question that has been racking our brain for quite some time. Here's Marty and Brittany with You Ask, We Answer.
Is the ocean so salty?
So why is the ocean so salty? Well, it's not because the land doesn't weigh back, guys. It's because the salt in the ocean comes from rocks. So, rocks rock, okay? The rain that falls from the atmosphere falls and starts to dissolve the rocks because of the acid within the rain. Then the rocks break down and basically fall into the ocean.
That was pretty interesting. Speaking of interesting, it seems that one SFHS student has discovered a few interesting hobbies that has turned into business opportunities. Here's Tanner Levi with junior Zach Gust in This Week 5 Minutes of Fame.
Student celebrities everywhere, this is why you should care about 5 minutes of fame.
Zach has good qualities of being hardworking, dedicated, and being very creative. He has an idea that comes in his head, and he finds a way of making sure to get that done.
I'm making a plasma room for my plasma cutter.
Be very successful in whatever realm he does. I know with his family and their business and just the things that he's interested in, of taking something and rebuilding it to make it brand new or to add his little touch onto it. I think he's smart enough to be able to do that.
I want to own a bunch of different businesses. Me and my brothers all have a clothing company that we're trying to expand. I'm fixing a GTR, and I like building things. I like going fast.
So Zach does well in class. He's got a very positive work ethic. It's a strong work ethic, and it's fun to sit back and watch him work on his project. Self-motivated in the sense that when it comes time to do some problem solving, it's on him. The hand doesn't go up right away, and you can see him researching his projects and the different problems that he's having. So whether it's on YouTube or some other form of the internet, he will.
And I think, like you said, he's a little bit farther ahead of just a lot of other people his age. So it shows his maturity level and just what he's capable of doing now. Who knows what he's capable of doing in 5 to 10 years.
Real talent being able to prioritize time in order to do everything a student wants to fit in. This year, some teachers are trying to encourage students to utilize their Saints time to get homework help, prep for tests and quizzes, and keep up with schoolwork. Alyssa Franchino spoke with Diana Hazelton to see how the math department is making the most of Saints time.
During Saints time, kids who don't understand their math come to Hazelton's room, and there's about 8 peer tutors, and we go in there and we help those kids.
When we tutor kids, we learn concepts ourselves. So like applying it to college calc, it's helped a lot.
A lot of them are very eager. My peer tutors, I have about 10 of them. A lot of them are very eager to do some volunteering, and this is kind of an avenue for them to help their peers, and it's one of their strengths. So they really shine in there.
I would say Saints time is better than academic time now that it's all settled and everything, because it's very centralized and it's quite organized as well. And during the academic time, nobody did any work.
It's a really neat program to try to get more peer tutoring going on at our school. So I hope it grows.
Before we go, the senior all-night party is in the planning process. Madonna Arnold is looking for a theme and gift ideas for seniors. Please email or speak with her about suggestions.
For this week's RQT, we asked the burning question, what exactly is your favorite Pop-Tart? Stay in tune for that, weather and sports.
It's the random question thing, ding.
S'mores.
S'mores.
Hot fudge sundae.
Brown sugar sundae.
I don't really like them anymore. I like cookies better. Cookie dough, cinnamon, chocolate, s'mores, confetti cupcake, toasted s'mores, cold strawberry, sugar cookie Pop-Tart, blueberry.
Welcome back to Weather Saints. Today will be cloudy with a high of 29 and a low of 24.
Saturday will be cloudy with a high of 30 and a low of 23.
And Sunday will be cloudy with possible snow, also with a high of 26 and a low of 17.
Have a great weekend, Saints.
Hey Saints, I'm Misty.
I'm Bree.
And you're watching Sports.
Congratulations to seniors Trevor White and Max Spitzer who have committed to play baseball at UW Superior and UW Stout. Also, congratulations to Teddy Pierce and Mason Hall on their 125th career wins last Friday in the meet against Cambridge Isani. They are today's senior spotlight.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate Mason Hall and Teddy Pierce on getting their 125th win in wrestling. It just goes to show that they put a lot into wrestling personally, and they've been wrestling for a long time. You have to be good at a young age and continue to be good throughout your career to get up to that 125 win mark. We expect big things out of both of them down through the end of the season, starting with our conference meet tomorrow, and then with our conference championship match against St. Michael Albertville next Thursday night, and followed up by our section tournament. So this is one of the better teams we've had in quite a while at St. Francis, and those two are two of our leaders.
The wrestling team walked away with a win over the Cambridge Isani Blue Jackets with a score of 46-25. On Saturday, the boys won the first round against Elk River with a score of 52-23 and defeated Stewartville 50-18 and faced the number 2 ranked team Apple Valley in the finals. They have a conference meet tonight in Big Lake at 3.
If you ask any athlete, they will usually tell you the team is like family. This year's wrestling team brings a completely different meaning to brotherhood. There are 10 sets of brothers who participate in Saints wrestling this year. Rihanna and I got the story.
I've been wrestling for 14 years.
I've been wrestling for 12.
I've been wrestling for 11 years, starting kindergarten.
My brother's been wrestling since 2nd grade, and I started in 4th.
I've been wrestling for like 3 years now.
I've been wrestling for almost 12 years now. My dad actually was the head coach here, and so he kind of got us into it when we were really young.
Wrestling with my brother, I don't know, it's pretty fun sometimes, but I mostly enjoy pounding on him all the time.
Just like wrestling with your brother. It's like wrestling with any other person. You just see them more.
It's fun because I like to pick on them and just make things tough for them.
He's weak.
He likes to think that he's better than me because he's been in longer than me, but, you know, it's just brotherly love.
I always push him in the room.
It's kind of nice to get pushed because then he'll tell me if I need to improve on anything, which helps out a lot most of the time.
It's different. I mean, I don't know, we're brothers, pretty much do everything together.
Well, I started wrestling by a couple of my football teammates telling me to wrestle to get better at football. It helps with a bunch of sports.
Our dad wrestled, so we're living family legacy. Yeah, we pretty much just growing up into it, I guess you could say.
Encourage each other by making each other better and just pushing each other every day.
We watch each other wrestle, cheer each other on.
Well, we're always living together, and we have a mat in the basement, so we're always messing around downstairs and always working out together.
We always kind of give each other crap and make fun of each other, but it always comes back to love and everything else. And then,
I don't know, we just got each other's backs and.
My favorite part is probably the team atmosphere and just looking over the past couple of years how we have improved.
Probably getting to be with friends and then seeing the kid's face when they don't expect you beating them and you do.
Thanks, guys. The girls' basketball team fought a tough game against the Andover Huskies but fell 49-41. They had a game on Tuesday against the Princeton Tigers and also lost a tough fight with a score of 67-44. They have a game against North Branch tonight at 7:15 at home.
The boys basketball team played Rogers last Friday but got pounced on with a score of 45-68. They also played the Princeton Tigers on Tuesday night and won with a score of 67-44. The boys have an away game tonight in North Branch at 7:15.
The girls hockey team skated away with a win last Friday against the Chisago Wildcats with a score of 4-1. Holly Anderson passed to Zebro with an empty net and 6-on-3 for a point. At the end of the third quarter with 2 minutes left, the girls had 2 in the box. Rachel Miller ended the game with 26 saves. The girls played North Wright County River Hawks on Tuesday as the last conference game and got the W with a score of 3-2. They played the Anoka Tornadoes last night and the scores can be found online. They will play against the Roger Royals tonight at home at 7.
In boys hockey, the team played the Cambridge Isani Blue Jackets last Thursday. The JV team won 5-3, but varsity lost a tough battle with a score of 5-3. They played the Princeton Tigers last Saturday. Cole Linson scored 2 goals in the first period. In the second period, Derek Bark scored a goal that had the Saints up 3-1. Tristan Hansen scored the 4th goal with an assist from Travis Carroll and Alex Besh, making the score 4-1. Reese Kaler got shorthanded goal from Besh, upping the score again to 5-1.
Speaking of Alex Besh, he is this week's Athlete of the Week for point leading in games, assists, and being a co-captain. Brian Danielle went out and got the scoop.
Senior co-captain this year for the boys hockey team. He has 37 points, 21 goals, and 16 assists through our first 18 games.
I'm having a really good year personally. Our team right now is also doing pretty well. We didn't start out the best, but we are starting to do a lot better in the recent games.
My favorite part about playing with Alex Besh is that we have such good chemistry and that we know where each other is on the ice at all times.
Playing with Besh this year, I've learned to not give up even when our team's going through hard times.
Well, I've learned off the ice that you gotta do a little pre-game minutes before the game.
He's a captain because of his leadership skills. He's done a great job as a senior helping the younger players with understanding how the program goes and their attitude, effort, and so he's been a big part of our success this year.
I kind of like how my team counts on me to be there for them with certain things, problems, whatever they need. I don't know, I like the role that I'm in right now currently. My favorite part of this season has been probably just hanging out with the boys, and the atmosphere in the locker room is always really fun.
Yes, I'm gonna miss playing with him after this year.
Thanks, Bree and Danielle. The boys finished out the game against Princeton 7-1 with some solid goaltending from Nolan Garrity. The boys had a game against the Chisago Wildcats last night, and the scores can be found online. They have an away game tomorrow in Rogers at 7.
The gymnastics team had their conference meet last night at the middle school. The scores can be found online.
Tomorrow, dance team will have a competition at Blaine High School. JV starts at 10:30 and varsity will start at 3.
If you or anyone you know is interested in playing softball this spring, there will be a meeting February 23rd at 7 p.m. in the Saints Room where you can get more info.
That's all we have for you this week, Saints.
Have a great weekend.